Alrighty, so it's official. Queen Cleopatra from Netflix is officially the worst rated show in history. Now, this show is all kind of wrong. They spent that first episode trying to discredit the one man whom, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have known about Cleopatra as a person. That person's name is Plutarch. He is a great Middle Platonist who's also a philosopher. He's a historian, he's an essayist, priest of the Temple of Apollo in Delphi. He's a Greek historian, right? This is the person that wrote about Cleopatra. And how did we find out about Cleopatra? Because he wrote an autobiography for Mark Antony, who was Cleopatra's lover. And by proxy, we got to know about the facts of the history of Cleopatra. And need I tell you guys that this guy was born 74 years after the death of Cleopatra, when informations about Cleopatra, evidences were still fresh. You're talking about documents, you're talking about eyewitness accounts or hearsay from their fathers or from their parents. You're talking about everything that you could possibly get at that particular point in time, just like we could have access to more recent histories of about 100, 200 years ago. We have access to that. He had access to that history. However, 2,500 years later or thereabouts or something like that, we're now getting told by a bunch of academicians, scholars, that he was wrong. Why? Because they feel he was wrong. Every single thing they tried to do in trying to disprove this person, there was no facts or evidence. It was like, probably happened this way, or maybe it was like this, or I imagined her to be like this. There was nothing factual about anything that they said. This is why this show is so horrible.
Source for the story is a Greek historian, Plutarch, who lived 150 years after Cleopatra died. He doesn't know.
Sheer fucking hubris.
However, as horrible as this show may be, there are some out there who are still claiming that Netflix was right. Why? Because it is pushing the black cause or whatnot. Like this guy from, there is this YouTube, I usually don't do this, but there's this YouTube channel I used to watch called Africa Diaspora. And yeah, this is what he seemed to think about the show. Take a listen.
Now, when was the Arab invasion of Egypt? 639 AD. Cleopatra lived way before the invasion of the Arabs in 639 AD. Black folks was in Africa. Black folks was running a lot of kingdoms in their own homeland. If anybody trying to take history, it's the Arabs. Why are you trying to steal our history? Netflix was right. Cleopatra was a black woman.
Based on what evidence do you say Cleopatra was black? Now, one of the key things that a lot of people were saying that, or they were defending this with, was that Cleopatra could have possibly been Egyptian. No, she was Egyptian by nationality, such as Arnold Vosloo or somebody like Elon Musk, for instance, is South African. That could be your nationality. However, that does not make you black. And he was also being intellectually disingenuous by saying black folks were in Africa. Black folks were doing things like this and that. They were running their own lands. That doesn't mean black folks were Egyptians or that Egyptians were black folks. You have no proof or evidence of what they were, or you have not shown any proof of evidence. You're just making a guess. A lot of black Americans, being the fact that they were stolen from Africa, still feel like as if most of their history were stolen. Do not forget, there are black Americans who think that they're Jewish. There are also black Americans who think that they are Native American, that they are actually the original Native American. And so you are now having this black American claiming that Arabs have stolen their history. Like, it's almost like everybody has stolen black people's history in America. And I understand and I get it. You're trying to be part of a dynasty. However, this is not the best way to go about it, because you do actually have a dynasty that you belong to from a black community, which I will show you later, from actual black history in Africa, as powerful, or if not even more powerful than Cleopatra that has been suppressed. But we'll get to that. But here's a little bit of an evidence, because most of these people, when they're talking, they don't talk about facts and evidence. The evidence proves to the contrary. If we are even saying by any means that Cleopatra's great-great-grandmother or great-great-great-grandmother was Egyptian or something like that, which is what some people are speculating. It's not like they know, they're speculating. If we're even saying that, who were the actual inhabitants of the Egyptian land before all of this Arab invasion and all what he was talking about? Were they blacks? Well, there was one key way people could find out, was doing research on mummies. And there's this research that I wanted to read about. It states, black or white, ancient Egyptians race mystery now solved. So let me just read a quick part of that, because it seems like a couple of archaeologists from Max Planck Institute in Germany, as well as some other researchers, actually researched on some mummies dating as far back as 1388 BC. This was well before the time of Cleopatra, and they ranged some of those mummies from that time till 460 something CE, which is after the death, So they ranged it for over 1,300 years, because they said in that area, very close to where Cleopatra was in Egypt, that it wasn't really influenced that much by the influx of these foreigners. You're talking about Romans or Arabs or Greeks invading Egypt. It wasn't really influenced by that. And this is what they found out from those mummies. Let me just read it verbatim. But a group of international researchers using unique methods have overcome the barriers to do just that. That is the DNA synthesizing of these mummies to find out who they are closely related to today. They found that the ancient Egyptians were mostly related to people of the Near East, particularly from Levant. This is the Eastern Mediterranean, which today includes countries of Turkey, Iraqi, Israeli, Jordan, Syrian, and Lebanon. Now, all of these countries that I have just listed out, people from that country are considered as Caucasians. Matter of fact, Egyptians in America, according to NPR statistics, are classified as white people. So even if by any chance, even if by a small chance that Cleopatra's great-great-great-grandmother or even her grandmother was Egyptian, it still doesn't make her black. Now, viewers' discretion, I want to show you guys a photo of this mummy, and you can Google a lot of mummies that were found in Egypt, and all I need you to look at is just their hair, their hairline. Look at this hair. This is silky hair. This is not woolly black hair. Before black people go out there and keep saying, black folks were doing this and black folks were doing that. Not at all. And this is the name of the area. So you can Google and find out evidences for yourself. I just wanted to show you one evidence to prove to you that the people, the prehistoric people, the ancient Egyptians, were not necessarily black. Now, were there blacks among them? I don't know. There's a possibility. However, most of the mummies that were researched on proved to be from those, they proved to be related to people from those countries that I just mentioned. All of North Africans doesn't make them less Africans, right? Even though Egyptians are being attacked today that, oh, they don't classify themselves as blacks. No, they don't, but they do classify themselves as African. No Egyptians is saying that they are not African. They're just saying that they are not blacks. And because it is true, can't they identify as what they want to identify as? And that's what they've been classified as. So it turns out that we are the ones who are trying to steal their history. Now, I can understand, like I said before, a lot of black people are out there. You yearn to be part of a greater dynasty. People stole everything from you. That's how you feel. However, here's the reality. You are part of a great dynasty. You just don't know it. There was a queen that was ruling an African nation, an African tribe, right? Concurrently as Cleopatra was ruling Egypt. And at that very point in time, this queen actually held the Roman Empire to a stalemate. Her name was Candace Amanirenas. You guys need to read about this woman. This woman is best known for skillfully defending her kingdom against the armies of the Roman Empire. She actually held them to a stalemate. And unlike Egypt that actually gave into the Roman Empire, she never gave into the Roman Empire. She did not cede large swaths of territory and never was forced to pay tribute to contribute material resources to Rome. ever. They actually had to deal with her and negotiate with her after many battles because she did beat them. She went on the offensive. She won. She has a great story to tell. Now, her people today would be the Sudanese people in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. Great history. However, that history has been suppressed. So I just wanted you to know, Black Americans, that your history and my history is the same. It wasn't stolen. It was suppressed. And there are many more. I could talk about Queen Amina of Zazzau. They don't talk about these queens. They hide them, and then they are trying to steal the dynasty of someone who is not sub-Saharan or black and tell you that it is black. There's nothing more despicable than what they're trying to do, and they're trying to do it for political purposes. Even the director of this show said it herself that this is reimagined Cleopatra. She also made this statement saying, doing the research, I realized what a political act it would be to see Cleopatra portrayed by a black actress. So she's not doing this because she wants to push historical facts. She's doing this for political points, which makes it wrong. So, Mr., I'm sorry to say you were wrong. Netflix was wrong. And that is why Netflix has such a bad rating and everybody hates this show.